Hi guys, Bella here. This is my week 12 weigh-in, and I can't believe it's been so long since I've made a video. You know, Janine kept getting after me like, make one, we miss you. And I was like, yeah, I'll get to it, I've been busy. And then I realized I just looked back to see what my last video was, and it was week 8, and I just finished week 12, so I cannot believe it. So things have been going pretty well. It's been definitely up and down, and I mean on the scale, up and down. So just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, I weighed in yesterday, and the scale said 298 even. And that is a gain from my last time I weighed in with you guys, and it was a gain from last week's weigh-in. My last couple of weeks, like I said, have been back and forth. One week I was like 295, and then another week I went up to 296.8, and then I went down a little, and then I went back up this week. So I've been like really back and forth these last few, this last month, and it's kind of frustrating because basically that means that in a month I spent $500 on nothing. Because Jenny Craig is $500. It's about $125 a week just for the Jenny Craig food, which is $500. And then, so actually Jenny Craig is closer to $700, if you can believe it. Maybe $650, because the additional food that I buy, like the dairy and the, so like yogurts and string cheese, and then the fruit and the veggies and all that, that equals about $50 a week anyway, in general, maybe a little less than 50. So it's a lot of money. I mean, people feed families for half that, you know what I mean? And I mean, obviously Jenny Craig also offers the whole meal plan and the support of the counselor and all that stuff, and it's been really good for me so far. But the bottom line is I just can't afford to keep doing this indefinitely, and right now I have 17 pounds to go to reach my goal, and I'm not giving up. I'm not gonna let December be a month where I gain weight. I definitely want to get out of December with a weight loss, so I definitely want to go into the new year weighing less than I do right now. So I've had to look at some solutions, because when I look at my bank account, I had enough money for 3.5 more weeks of Jenny Craig. Well, it's going to take me longer than, and I mean, that doesn't count the week I just bought. I just bought a week, so let's say I have 4.5 weeks of Jenny Craig left. I can't lose 17 pounds in 4.5 weeks, like following the program and being healthy about it. So I started talking to my mom and to my sister and just trying to get ideas from them, because I don't know if you guys remember, but I had said last time that my parents actually loaned me some money to help me pay for this round of Jenny Craig, and my mom told me the other day, she's like, you know, we're kind of tapped out, we really can't help you anymore. And I mean, nor should they need to, you know what I mean? So I started, I told her that definitely for Christmas, the week of Christmas, while I'm not going to go crazy, I am going to take like the 24th and 25th off in terms of, you know, indulging in the dinners that we're having. But my uncle's also going to be visiting from Michigan, and so he's staying with me at my house. So while I'm not going to eat the same things necessarily that he does, it would be kind of weird, and plus we're going to go here and there to try and stay home and like follow all the Jenny foods. So I decided that on the days, so the other days, like Sunday, Monday, you know, that other days of the week that aren't Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, I'm going to eat like a healthy breakfast, like whether that's like one of those oatmeal breakfast cookies that I've talked about, and I'll put the link below in my blog if you guys want it, or a green smoothie or something like that. So still very healthy and within my calorie range. Jenny Craig pretty much has me eating about 400 calories for breakfast, more or less, sometimes even a little more than that. And it always includes some kind of starch, in like some kind of grain, let's say, some kind of dairy, a fruit, and definitely some protein. So when I looked at it, doing like a breakfast cookie actually combines all of those things, all those ingredients, and it's about 420 calories. So it works out to be less than sometimes a Jenny Craig breakfast, when it's like, you know, have a, let's say, like a breakfast sandwich and a yogurt and half a cup of cottage cheese and a fruit. Like that definitely equals more than 420 calories. So that would work. And then for lunches, I mean, a lot of the Jenny Craig foods are like stuffed sandwiches, which are kind of like lean pockets, or they're little pizzas, which again, Lean Cuisine makes, or they're flatbread kind of, well, they don't have flatbread, they call them paninis. And, you know, like I said, Lean Cuisine makes like a flatbread sandwich that are actually, I think, really good. So there's no reason I couldn't buy a Lean Cuisine meal and save money. Or, you know, like Jenny Craig gives me a bowl of tortellini soup, and it's like 250 calories for the bowl of soup, and then you're supposed to have it with a salad or some vegetable on the side. Well, I thought to myself, you know, Progresso makes a lot of soup, and a can of Progresso, especially Progresso Light, and they have low sodium on the Progressos. It's definitely, you could get a can of low sodium chicken with something, soup, chicken and rice or chicken noodle or whatever, and it could be like 200 calories, you know? And then I could still pair it with a salad or vegetables. Or I could easily, you know, get a Subway sandwich, and that would be the equivalent if my uncle and I were out and about and we were like on our way somewhere, and we were going to stop and get something to eat instead of like having to eat at home, you know? So, and then for dinner that week, I was thinking, again, I could do like Lean Cuisine kind of dinners, but I also could make like the Hungry Girl. I have this great recipe, again, I'll put it in the down bar. Great recipe for Hungry Girl. It's Hungry Girl 10 Alarm chili, and it's turkey chili, and it is really, really spicy. And, you know, if you don't, I love spice, so for me it's like, I love it, but you could definitely tone down the spiciness, and it would be just as delicious, and it's really low in calories. Like, I think it's less than 200 calories for a cup, so even if you got like a cup and a half of it, which is really filling because there's a lot of fiber with the beans and everything like that, even if you were to get like a cup and a half or even 2 cups, it's still really low. And so that paired with some kind of veggie would be a really good dinner. And it makes a lot. It makes a whole crock pot full. So there's definitely enough for me to eat that more than once for dinner or lunch, and then have leftovers still. And it's really inexpensive because the only thing you're buying like a couple cans of beans and some, you know, diced tomatoes and stuff like that. It's very low, like low budget to make, but it's so delicious. So, like I said, I could definitely have that. And so, like, as I was thinking that, I was like, okay, I think that's what I'm going to do for the week of Christmas, and not buy the Jenny Craig food, save my money, and, you know, spend less than half of what I would spend on Jenny Craig. So then I was talking to my sister about the whole idea, and because I told my mom, you know, like, I might as well do that and just maintain my weight instead of paying Jenny Craig $125 to maintain or gain weight. Why would I do that? It doesn't make sense. So then I was telling my sister all this, and she said, you know, why don't you do the same thing but start now? Why don't you start incorporating some of your own food in with Jenny Craig and have it last? So, like, and as she's saying it, I'm like, you know what? She's absolutely right. As long as I log everything into MyFitnessPal and log it all and follow the, you know, the calorie things that MyFitnessPal recommends, there's no reason why I can't, like, model the Jenny Craig food and incorporate still some of their food. Like, I'm convinced that there's something in that Jenny Craig food that does help me lose weight more than like a Lean Cuisine might, but I mean, maybe it's just their combo of things. So I've entered most of my weeks of Jenny Craig in MyFitnessPal, so I have like what I was eating each day and like the combination, and like, you know, like I said, like a fruit at breakfast, and then a fruit for a snack, and then, you know, what, a fruit with a dairy for a snack, really, and then you know, something like carb kind of snack, like they have their little veggie chips. Well, you know what, at Sprouts I found, we have Sprouts here in California. I'm not sure if it's a nationwide thing. I think originally Sprouts is from England. I'm not sure where it's from, but I know they're starting to get them all over California, and I don't know if they're nationwide, but Sprouts is like, I would say it's a farmer's market, they call it, but then they have natural stuff, like kind of like Trader Joe's, and so they have basically they have Sprouts veggie chips, and they're like exactly like the Jenny Craig veggie chips. The problem is the Sprouts thing comes in a big bag, you know, and the Jenny Craig is like individual size. So I told my sister I'm going to like portion out the chips, measure it and everything like that. And then I'm going to leave the bag over at her house because that way I won't overeat, because we know that that's been one of my things, is eating more than just the portion size. And with Jenny Craig, I don't do that because I only have like the one bag of veggie chips and that's that. And if I eat more than that, like if I were to eat veggie chips and the next day's snack bar, I wouldn't have any food. You know what I mean? So I'm going to kind of treat this the same way, where if I do buy like the veggie chips or whatever, I have to treat it as if that little bagged portion is all that I have for the week, and pretend like I don't have the rest of the bag. So that, I think, is a solution. And so actually, as we were talking, I was trying to figure things out, and what kind of meals would I get and how would I combine everything or whatever. Basically, I can stretch the Jenny Craig food out to 7 weeks, I guess, or even really 8 weeks. And I mean, I definitely think that I can lose the 17 pounds in 8 weeks. And so I can't tell you like how much more relieved I feel, how much like stress just went when I talked to my sister and my mom and kind of like put this down, because I was really stressed because Jenny Craig was working, although the last month or so it hasn't been, because I think I just needed to drop my calories down. That was the other thing. So I've dropped my calories down from 1,700 to 1,500, and we'll see if that works as well. The other thing that I need to talk about is that I think I mentioned this last time, I can't remember, I was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis, and so that's really put a hindrance on me being able to even like take the dog for a walk or work out in the way that I was used to. And so, but I was still trying to do those things. And so about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I was taking the dog for a walk, and literally all I was doing was walking, and I had tennis shoes on, I had really supportive shoes on, and all of a sudden as I was walking, I felt this rip in my heel. Like literally I felt something ripping inside, and it was one of the most excruciating pains I've ever felt, and I've been through some things, and it was awful. So I went to the doctor. I mean, like, I was literally crying on my way home because, of course, I was, like, halfway away from home, and I had to walk the whole halfway back. And it was, like, each step was just, like, so painful. Literally tears in my eyes because the pain was so bad. And I was, like, hobbling along. It was sad. I'm sure I was, like, a sad state, but a sad sight. But anyway, so when I went to the podiatrist, he said basically what I did was I tore my fascia, which is, I believe it's a tendon or muscle or something in my foot, and he said it's akin to what they would do in surgery, without the benefit of anesthesia, right? So I mean, he said it is an excruciating thing to go through. He said the good news though is that it's going to heal now, because now by tearing it, I've stretched it, and that's what needed to happen so that the plantar fasciitis heals. The bad news is that I have to kind of deal with this now for 3 to 4 months. It's going to take 3 to 4 months for it to heal completely, and I cannot get the steroid shot anymore to help with the pain, because something about the steroid shot would, I guess, like prevent it from totally healing or something like that. So that's where I am right now. So I think part of why I've gained, or not gained, but not lost any weight in this last month is that I wasn't working out. Like especially the last 2 weeks, I was in a lot of pain and just feeling sorry for myself, and not really wanting to go get wet and go swim, because that's one of the things I can do, and just not feeling like being on the bike at the gym, and I don't know, being lazy, kind of giving into that. I have been 100% on food-wise, but just I think the combination of my body not moving as much, because literally I've been saving my steps, like at school, at everything, at work. I haven't been walking as much because it hurts, I did find these great Ortho Heel shoes. And they're actually pretty cute. They're shoes that have this special orthotic made for people with plantar fasciitis, and they, like, putting them on, it was like a miracle. Like, the pain went away, and they were just so great. And so I've been wearing those every day, and they really seem to help because they hold my foot in the perfect position, and I think it's allowing my foot to not be strained, and so it's helping with the healing, which is great. So anyway, the plan is this week to go work out at least 4 times. So I went yesterday on a nice bike ride with my sister. It was a beautiful day. It was kind of cold. Well, California cold. It was in the 60s, right? But chilly, like windy a little bit, but still it was brisk. It was nice. So we went a bike ride for like 30, 35 minutes, and it was so nice to be out there in the sun. And then, like today I'm taking off. And then tomorrow I'm going to go either, depending on the weather, going for a bike ride again, which I think I will outside, or I'll go to the gym and swim. And back and forth. I'm going to kind of do that. So then I'll work out again on Thursday and then Saturday or something, something along those lines, just to kind of keep myself active, burn more calories, but then also help my foot rest in between. So anyway, I'm really sorry that this video is so long, but I guess when you don't make a video for about a month, that's what happens. So wish me luck on this modified Jenny Craig plan, and I hope you guys are doing great. I will make a video next week, I promise, and because I got to let you know how this experiment is working, okay? So I'll see you soon, and have a wonderful week, okay? Bye-bye.